All right, so don't mind me. I'm just trying to solve some problems that people don't know exist. So let me switch from Charlotta to Catalina real quick. Recently, I've been experimenting with a couple of different routes, and these routes, the entire point of them for the most part is to preserve, or at the very least, get 66H off of cooldown and 236H off of cooldown, so that way I can convert off of either of those things after doing my Oki. So it's usually, in the stuff that I've used in the past, it's either been one or the other. Like I'll preserve Fireball, but I won't have 66H up, or I'll preserve 66H, but I won't have Fireball. Or, you know, they would just come off at the wrong time. So recently, this is the new route that I've been doing. I'll show you two. The first one is off of 236H, and it doesn't use 66H at all, but it still cycles. So it only uses 3 cooldowns. It uses Fireball. Actually, it only uses 2 cooldowns. I'm sorry. It uses Fireball, and it uses the Up Spear. And then it preserves Rhapsody and it preserves 66H. So it's going to start off like, let me find slot 4. It's going to start off like this. You get one hit of sweep, and then you can set up the double overhead that way. Or and set up a low. All right, we'll go ahead and pause it. So the thing about this that I really, really like is because I'm preserving the 66H, it means that the high-low is a little bit stronger. Because before, your low option for the most part was like, you know, you go into the high, and then you go immediately into the first hit of 2U, and then you go into Fireball. And then if it doesn't work, they block the Fireball, and you're -5. Now, if I'm able to preserve the 66H, it means that I can not only go into a low that's easier to confirm off of, but I also am going into a low that's plus on block. So my pressure gets to be a little bit stronger too. The problem with this route, the problem that I kind of encountered when I was doing it, is that this route does not work on the short characters like Narmaya and Charlotta. So let's switch back to Charlotta. Here is what this route looks like if I am doing it to a shorter character. Okay, so you already see that the knee drops. The knee does not hit. This actually isn't only a problem for short characters, it's also a problem for thin characters. So for whatever reason, Kat is just fat. She's really easy to combo, but it doesn't work on Percival, it doesn't work on Fairy. I'm sure there's a number of other characters that it doesn't work on. But it definitely doesn't work on the short characters, so you are not able to hit them with the knee. You can combat this by, instead of using 5H after the 236H, you can use 2H. So you can kind of pull them out of the corner, you can rip them out of the corner with your anti-air. And that ends up looking like, navigating menus is hard, that ends up looking like this. There's another problem. The down follow-up doesn't work. The down follow-up doesn't work. And this is something that you can kind of get around. You can delay it. But if you're delaying the down follow-up, then you're not going to land with enough time to be able to hit them with the sweep. The sweep is going to whiff. So after I found this out, I just kind of assumed that that route would never work on any of these characters. That, you know, I would always have to just kind of accept the fact that my Oki was just that much weaker. But, you know, still pretty good. And recently, I found another workaround for that. So there were 2 combos that I showed you. The first one was a conversion off of 236H, and then it went into the knee, and then it went into the spears. So that one looks like this if you do it right. So here, I'll just kind of let it play out. All right, so what's happening there is, and the reason that Zeta's kind of down follow-ups will work a lot of the time is because if you go into the diagonal up, you're pushing their hitbox in a way where their body is mostly facing horizontal. And so you can kind of tag their feet with the down follow-up. But this doesn't work against the characters that are short, like I mentioned. However, you can still hit them a lot of the time, and I was kind of going off of that. You can still hit them with the diagonal down follow-up. So what you want to do in order to make this one work is that you want to not really hit them on the way up. So like at the very, very top of your arc, you kind of want to do it just before then. So that way you arrive at the ground together and then you hit it really, really late. And then that will pop them up with enough time for you to be able to hit the spear. So that's the conversion off of 236H. It's a little finicky, but it's definitely possible to practice and perform pretty consistently. And then the other one is off of the 66H. So 66H, like you saw before, I did 66H into, and then there was a fireball there, and then we went into the knee, just the light knee, right? So preserving Rhapsody, and then doing a JH into the air 2-2H, and then ultimately I would end with the down follow-up into the sweep, right? So you can kind of rewind the video if you want to take a look at what that looked like. But remember that the down follow-up doesn't work against these short characters. So we're going to use the exact same principle, the exact same property of doing the diagonal down, and that will also correct it. So here's what the that follow-up looks like, as well as, kind of an additional kata to show what like the entire sequence might look like with those. So here we go. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't have a kata. My mistake. But it does have the Oki playing out. So here it is. So there you go. Anyway, you can use those if you want them. They're fun to practice. I think they look really cool. And that's it. How do you end a video?